Okay, I hope you're doing well. And we're gonna start, right? Because we're gonna start with the people that we have. So thanks for being punctual. It's nice to see you again. And let's start with this. Well, we're gonna solve this later because you're gonna do it in groups. But since in this moment, we don't have a lot of people, we're gonna start with this part, okay? That is this, the next topic. There we have again a conversation, and this is very, very useful, okay? We have here, you see in bold, this is bold letters. We have here a specific structure. Very interesting, very useful, okay? But let's start reading this conversation. Hi, Roxana. Welcome to Rex. My name is Jessica. I'm the industrial safety engineer. Thanks, Jessica. Nice to meet you. My department is responsible for keeping the safety of the plant. I see. I'll be part of the maintenance department. Will I be responsible to you? Great. Our departments work together, but the maintenance chief is in charge of directing your department. You'll be responsible to him. Thank you, Jessica. May I call you if I need help? Sure. Okay, so here you can see two similar expressions. Okay, two similar expressions. But we're gonna discuss about that after practicing this conversation. Let's see, sure, like is like, of course, sure, no problem. Okay, this is a very common expression, sure. Can you drive me home? Oh, sure, no problem. Can I take your, I don't know, can I take your pencil? Oh, sure, I have to, no problem, take it. Okay, so that is a very, very common and good expression, right, that we have. What else we have here? Let me see. Well, those are part of the vocabulary that we study in previous levels, right? That we have industrial safety engineer, maintenance department. I think this was in level 1, I think. Maintenance department, etc. Okay, I think this is not new for you. Okay, look at this structure. May I call you if like a condition, right? In case, sí, if I need help. Si acaso, sí, por sí. Okay, so if I need help. Okay, so those are the expressions that I think I can mention. The rest is not new for you, I think, because it's part of the previous vocabulary in previous levels. Okay, so let's practice. I'm gonna read it again. If I have 2 volunteers after I read it, and then you go to the breakout rooms. Okay, but let me do it once more for you. Hi, Roxana. Welcome to Rex. My name is Jessica. I'm the industrial safety engineer. Thanks, Jessica. Nice to meet you. My department is responsible for keeping the safety of the plant. I see. I'll be part of the maintenance department. Will I be responsible to you? Great. Our departments work together, but the maintenance chief is in charge of directing your department. You'll be responsible to him. Thank you, Jessica. May I call you if I need help? Sure. Okay, that's what we have. So we're gonna practice, right? Then practice. Listen to your teacher. You listen to me twice, and then practice with a partner. But now, so you can listen once more. You will listen if I have volunteers. If again I'm using this, if I have volunteers, you're gonna listen once more. Okay. Anybody? Do I have a volunteer to be Jessica? Anybody who wants to practice reading pronunciation?
Me, teacher.
Okay, Miss Castro. Okay, you are Jessica.
Okay.
Who wants to be Roxana? Who wants to be Roxana?
Me, teacher. Me,
Okay.
teacher.
Okay, you, Marlene. Okay, so you are Roxana. Go ahead, Jessica, please. You start. Jessica, that is.
Okay.
Carmen. Okay.
Hi, Roxana. Welcome to Rex. My name is Jessica. I am the industrial safety engineer.
Thanks, Jessica. Nice to meet you. Thanks, Jessica. Nice to meet you.
My department is responsible for keeping the safety of the plant.
Okay, my department.
Okay, my department is responsible for keeping the safety of the plant.
Okay, my department is responsible, is like table. Okay, responsible for keeping.
Keeping,
Yes,
responsible for
correct.
keeping the
Safety.
safety of the plant.
Okay, better. There you are. Roxana.
I see. I be part of the teacher pronunciation is
Maintenance. Maintenance.
ma maintenance.
Maintenance.
Maintenance. Okay. Maintenance department will be responsible to you.
Will I be responsible to you?
We I be responsible to you.
Responsible.
Responsible.
Okay.
Grade of department.
Departments. We don't
Departments.
have an A here, right? Departments.
Grade or departments work together, but the
Maintenance.
maintenance chief is the
Charge. Is
charge
charge.
of direct direct
Directing?
direct directing you. Ah,
No A.
Department.
department
Department.
you'll be responsible
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 Responsible.
to him.
to him.
Correct, Miss Castro.
Thank you, Jessica. May I call you if you
May I call
if I need help?
help? Okay.
Sure.
Sure. Okay. Thanks, ladies. Thanks, young ladies, for your participation. Okay, so May and call.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks to you for your participation. Okay, don't worry, Miss Castro, okay? That's what we are practicing. And that's why it's good that you participate. So you do the same mistake with department. Department. No, department. And again, department. But at the end, you will say department because you are practicing and you are pronouncing over and over again. Okay?
Okay, teacher,
No
thank.
problem. That's why it's good to practice and to participate. Okay, so that's what you are going to do in the main room. Okay, everybody.
Teacher.
Read. Yes, sir.
Sorry, I have a question. Could you remember me why is reading keeping is responsible for keeping?
What do you mean? I don't got the question.
But there are sentences. For example, I am working today.
You mean maybe, I don't know, tell me if this is what you mean, okay? Maybe you mean that why we are using in this verb ing.
Ing, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna let you know that when we come back from the conversation.
All
okay?
Right.
Okay, don't worry, that's the topic. That's the topic today. So we're gonna talk in detail about that, okay? Don't worry. But just later on, okay? First, let's practice this, and then we're gonna analyze those structures that you are asking me, okay? Wait, but we're gonna discuss it. Don't worry. Okay, so let's go in this moment to practice pronunciation. If you have any doubt about any word before you go to practice, tell me, please. No doubts? Okay, so let me create the breakout rooms. Remember, maidens, etc. Okay, my dear people, I'm gonna say this is in Spanish because I don't know if because of the language, okay? No sé si por el idioma hemos tenido problemas en cuestión de comunicación. So I'm gonna say it in Spanish. Ustedes pudieron ver hoy, el día de hoy, que mandaron de parte de coordinación, ¿verdad? De parte de la institución, una notita, no fui yo. Entonces, parte de los reglamentos y de lo que ustedes acuerdan es tener cámaras encendidas durante la clase. ¿Ok? Yo ya les he pedido en varias ocasiones que lo hagan. Entonces, si alguno de ustedes
I'm so
tiene...
sorry, Miss.
Okay, sir. Si alguno de ustedes, Mr. Ramírez, si alguno de ustedes tienen algún inconveniente permanente, les voy a solicitar que lo envíen al grupo. Así coordinación no me está preguntando a mí por qué tanta gente con cámaras cerradas, ¿ok? Porque eso no fue el acuerdo que se tiene. Y ahí les enviaron el recordatorio, ¿verdad? No fui yo. Yo ya les había comentado desde la primera clase, la segunda, pero yo les dije, no les voy a estar recordando porque la información pues se da una vez. Y ustedes están conscientes de cómo se les solicita que sean parte de la clase, ¿verdad? Entonces, esta no es primera vez ni segunda vez que lo menciono. Acuérdense que eso es parte de su nota, ¿verdad? La participación, mantener sus cámaras activas porque sabemos que están ahí. Entonces, eso también va evaluado en parte de su nota, porque si usted mandó todo y tiene todo 10, pero casi no lo veíamos porque hay personas acá que yo no he tenido el gusto ni de verles el rostro, ya son 4 clases y algunos que no he podido verles el rostro. No he tenido ese gusto. Entonces, les voy a solicitar nuevamente, ya que coordinación y que me están también a mí solicitando que lo haga, ¿verdad? Y no es porque yo no lo haga o porque yo sea dejada, no, es que yo no sé qué pasa en esta clase. ¿Ok? Todos han como que tomado esa situación. Entonces, me veo en la necesidad hasta de tener que hablar en español, porque no es primera vez que se lo solicito. Y ya vamos por la clase 4, ya vamos casi a la semana, empezamos el viernes, esta es la 4ª clase. Así es que pues como personas, me imagino, ¿verdad? Y ya conocedoras de la situación, solamente tengo que tomar el tiempo, una pausa algo larga para que, esperando, ¿verdad? Que eso cambie, ¿verdad? Que ya, pues si usted tiene alguna situación en especial, pues que puede ser, a veces, no sé, alguien de repente se levanta, llega una visita no sé, por momentos está bien. Por mí no hay ningún problema. De hecho, yo así estaba dando la clase, pero no son las reglas y yo también tengo que respetarlas, empezando por mí, ¿verdad? Entonces, por eso yo les comunico y hago la pausa, aunque ustedes ya lo saben, pero igual. Entonces, yo entiendo que en algunos momentos podemos apagar la cámara. Bueno, yo no, yo nunca lo hago. Siento que no es polite, que no es polite estar hablando con alguien y no verle el rostro. Siento que no me siento yo bien. Para mí no es polite, estar como que estoy ahí, pero es como que yo esté hablando de espaldas con alguien, ¿verdad? Entonces, como que no me siento cómoda. A mí, right? Because I think it's not polite. Pero cada quien, ¿verdad? Cómo lleva su comportamiento. Pero sí, en la regla sí está, ¿verdad? Así es que si usted tiene, le decía, alguna situación de vez en cuando, pues entiende. Yo entiendo, ¿ok? Yo no les pediría 100%. Él dice, de hecho, dice toda la clase, pero yo entiendo, ¿verdad? Si yo veo que alguien apaga, no voy a estar ahí. De hecho, yo no estoy en eso porque quiero dar la clase. ¿Ok? No es como que estemos en el colegio, fulanito, encienda la cámara y diciéndole a los chicos, a los niños, ¿verdad? Pero creo que aquí ya no es necesario eso. Entonces, por eso es que yo no estoy deteniendo la clase para decirles, pero ya me preguntaron qué pasa, ¿verdad? Y ya mandaron ahí también el anuncio y veo que algunos siguen todavía igual. Entonces, si es de vez en cuando, por mí no hay problema, de vez en cuando, pero no toda la clase ni todas las clases, porque ya vamos a la cuarta y algunos, insisto, no lo han hecho, ni una vez, ¿ok? Si usted va a tener una situación especial, también se comprende. Mande ahí al grupo para que coordinación de una vez vea por qué no usan cámaras, porque ellos llevan ese control y ellos me preguntan a mí. Así es que manden, por favor, por qué no van a usar cámara, qué situación especial tienen para poder apoyarlos. Ok, si usted tiene una situación especial, por ejemplo, no sé, tal vez va manejando, pero yo entiendo, va a ir manejando un rato, ¿verdad? Pero no toda la clase y todas las clases. Hasta yo le dije a una persona, no se preocupe, active la cámara porque yo hablé con él, creo que fue en esta clase. No se preocupe, cuando usted llegue a casa, active la cámara porque es peligroso ir manejando. Yo lo vi que iba manejando, entonces ahí se comprende, solo ponga estoy manejando, en driving, o lo que sea, y mande ahí una fotito que usted va manejando y listo. Si aquí estamos para apoyarnos, pero con razones, ¿ok? Ahora, si lo hace un momento, pues no necesita tampoco estar mandando, ¿verdad? Esas notas, pero si lo va a hacer permanente y tiene una razón en especial para poder ayudarle y que eso no le afecte, entonces, pues, notifique ahí, no a mí, aquí, porque quien lleva el control de eso es ahí coordinación. Entonces, ahí mismo ellos van a saber por qué ustedes no van a usar cámara o no están en gran parte de la clase con cámara, sin cámara. ¿Ok? Por favor. Así que le voy a solicitar ahí a Giancarlos, a Daniel, a Isaac, a Elizabeth y a Andrés. Bueno, Mr. Ramírez suele estar con cámara, ¿verdad? Él es primera vez. Creo que es Mr. Ramírez. Creo que es la misma persona. No sé si es otra persona.
Sí, Miss, ahí acabo de
Entonces,
escribir la nota, sí, correcto.
ok, Mr. Ramírez, sí, pero en su caso todas las clases y todo siempre ha estado activo y con cámaras. Eso es lo que les digo. Si una persona tiene una necesidad específica, yo por lo menos a Mr. Ramírez ahorita digo algo tiene. Algo por algo está así, porque en las 4 clases ha estado muy activo y siempre con cámara. En algún momento tenemos una necesidad, yo comprendo, créanme. Como ahorita Mr. Ramírez, yo me imaginé por lo que ha traído él durante todas las clases, que era una situación especial, ¿verdad? O bueno, si lo hace una vez, no pasa nada por mí, pero ya permanentemente, sí, ¿verdad? Permanentemente sí me piden por qué, qué pasa, ¿verdad? Entonces, pues, realmente como no depende de mí, creo que a quienes les corresponde dar la debida notificación o explicación es a ustedes, porque yo no soy quien lo está haciendo. ¿Ok? Así es que en el grupo, es en el grupo, Elizabeth, en el grupo para que coordinación vea por qué no usan cámara. No solo soy yo. Quien les mandó la nota es coordinación, no soy yo. Entonces, y pues a mí me preguntan sobre ustedes, pero ahí quienes deben de dar razones porque yo no voy a estar dando de cada uno, entonces ustedes digan ahí en el grupo, ok, no tengo cámara o porque voy camino a casa o no voy a usar cámara en las clases por esto y por lo otro. Ya si coordinación considera que amerita comunicarse con usted, pues se va a comunicar con usted. Si no, si comprende una situación lógica, pues ahí estamos, ¿verdad? Apoyando, si se puede. Seguramente tanto yo como coordinación, pues vamos a entender. Ok, bueno, esta es la única vez ya que voy a detener la clase y hablar en español para decir eso, pero realmente es demasiada gente que no usa cámara y por eso también le llamó la atención a coordinación, ¿verdad? Porque no, a veces vienen, preguntan y qué pasa con las cámaras o hay que decir sobre las cámaras y uno ya realmente ya se los dijo. No es que uno no les recuerde y creo que no es tampoco ni necesario recordar. Pero bueno, entonces esta es la primera y última vez. Acuérdese, le afecta al final, es parte de saber que usted está activo, de que está al 100%, ¿verdad? Por acá. Así es que es parte al final de su nota. Y bueno, eh, ya después, si no al final, pues ahí será parte de su nota. Y o si no, coordinación en casos, ¿verdad? Sientan ellos amerite comunicarse con alguien, pues se van a comunicar con alguien. Así es que para que yo no interrumpa cada vez, ¿verdad? Todos los días con las mismas personas por la misma situación, la clase. Ok, así es que disculpen los que siempre han tenido, que son poquitos, los que siempre han tenido sus cámaras activas. Disculpen aquí el paréntesis y la interrupción, ¿verdad? Pero pues me vi en la necesidad porque tal parece que quizás el idioma afectaba porque no era primera vez que yo lo había dicho. Y si no, así ya quedamos claros, ¿verdad? Envíen ahí nota, por favor, al grupo, si es permanente o si es buena parte de la clase, mientras usted enciende su cámara, diga ahí por qué está sin cámara activa. ¿Ok? Y recuerde, al final se tome en cuenta para sus notas también. ¿Ok? En caso que saque todo 10, pero raramente teníamos el gusto de ver su carita, entonces pues, o de no saber si está ahí o no está, dejan solos a los compañeros en los break rooms, no contestan, todo eso se toma en cuenta, ¿verdad? Y se toma nota de ello. Bueno, ahí nuevamente las disculpas de la interrupción de la clase. I promise, ya solo vamos a ver la situación y a contar ahí, entonces yo no voy a seguir interrumpiendo la clase, les prometo, para decir lo mismo, ¿verdad? Y quizás a las mismas personas. Okay, so I'm so sorry for the time that I took. Okay, well, let's continue. And remember, in case that if it's necessary for you, once, like Mr. Ramirez, right? Once in the life, no problem. I understand. But the problem is for those who are half of the class or the whole class after class, in the same way. That's the problem. Because I'm flexible. Believe me that I'm flexible.
Teacher, excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Teacher, today busy veterinary with my dog, teacher.
The
in
vet.
This moment.
Okay, you have a visit. Okay.
Before turn off one moment my camera, I'm sorry, teacher.
Okay, yeah, I got it. So you see, that's the way. I know what is going on, right? And it's something occasional. So for me, no problem. Just let me know and I take your name and no problem. Okay, because it's something occasional. Okay, thanks,
Teacher,
Mr. You're so... Okay. Yes, Mr.
Perdón, solamente, perdón que le hable en español, pero tal vez solo para que... Fíjese que el lunes yo presenté un problema que por trabajo no pude, ¿verdad? El lunes tengo consejo en la alcaldía, pero yo escribí al grupo y no sé si a mis compañeros les puede pasar similar. No hay una reacción como que o de ok o de acuerdo o entendido o enterado, entonces tal vez por ahí puede ser también que la comunicación no ha sido fluida, teacher. Porque sí, en mi caso yo escribí el lunes de que me disculpaba que no iba a poderme conectar, pero no, nadie me respondió. O sea, al final no sé si me tomaron o no me tomaron la asistencia o me pusieron atención que no me iba a poder conectar.
Vaya, si usted se refiere a mí, no sé si se refiere a mí directamente, ¿verdad?
No,
coordinación,
teacher.
porque hay
Escribí
dos
al
situaciones.
grupo.
Okay, a eso voy, hay dos situaciones. Eso de que falten un día específico, eso se habla cuando se inscriben, y eso no es conmigo, ¿verdad? Cuando ustedes van a faltar días específicos o si van a tener eso es más bien al momento de inscribirse. Cuando es cuestión de asistencia, en este caso, sí, obviamente es conmigo, ¿verdad? Pero realmente yo no estoy con el teléfono en la mano, les soy sincera, porque no puedo dar la clase y estar con el teléfono y respondiendo. Entonces, ahí hasta el final, en mi caso, ¿verdad? En mi caso, pues al final yo reviso y veo quiénes informaron por algo específico, ¿verdad? Algo que se estaba enfermo, algo especial, y se le toma en cuenta, ¿verdad? Pero en el momento, lo mucho que hago a veces es ponerles de enterado, pero a veces, porque no soy buena para estar con el teléfono, les soy sincera, no tengo esa habilidad de estar con el teléfono y estar haciendo otras cosas. Entonces, y además siento que es falta de respeto para mis alumnos estar yo con el teléfono en la mano. A mí no me gusta que cuando yo voy a comprar algo, cuando yo estoy me están atendiendo, sí, dígame. Ajá, ¿y qué necesita? No, right. Entonces, yo no suelo contestar durante las clases, sino que hasta después, como ya terminamos un poco tarde, yo chequeo y sí lo tomo en cuenta. ¿Ok? No se preocupen. Lo mucho que puedo hacer, ¿verdad? Es con gusto, trataré de estar pendiente, pero también escriban un poco antes.
Antes de la clase, claro.
Por favor, lo más antes que puedan, si es posible en la tarde, porque yo también tengo una clase antes de esta. Pero, si ustedes escriben antes, yo contesto completito ahí. Pero ya en clases no suelo, porque no tengo esa habilidad y como les digo, o sea, alguien puede sentirse molesto y mal y con toda razón, porque a mí tampoco me gusta que alguien esté hablando conmigo. Yo solo cuando estoy enviando las capturas, estoy con teléfono en la mano, pero si me pongo a revisar mensajes, pues les dejaría ahí esperando y permítame. Y ahí me pongo a contestar y otros grupos. Entonces, es difícil realmente para mí en el momento contestarles, pero podemos hacer eso. Les voy a poner cuando sí lo haya leído, les pongo el dedito, el thumb, right? Thumbs up de enterado, porque de contestarles sí no les prometo, porque tendría que detener la clase, interrumpir y estar con el teléfono en la mano y eso siento que no es correcto. ¿verdad?
Thank you, teacher.
Es mala
Thank you.
educación. Ok, y por respeto a ustedes, ¿verdad? A ustedes mismos no puedo estar ahí con el teléfono en la mano y dejándolos ahí que no oigo ni lo que me preguntan ni lo que me dicen. Así es que, pero vamos a hacer así, Mr. Barrientos. Gracias por el comentario. Ahora, si es un permiso especial, esto tendría que ser con coordinación y ya lo tendrían que haber hablado, ¿verdad? De antemano. Si mire, voy a faltar una semana sí, porque mi turno es una semana sí, una semana no. Yo aquí todos son bienvenidos las veces que vengan. ¿Ok? Al final el conteo lo hacen ellos, de la asistencia y todo. Si alguien ya habló con ellos, pues además ustedes acuérdense que tienen 75% de asistencia requerida, o sea, tienen 25%, me parece, ¿verdad? De oportunidad por cosas especiales. Y si no, pues las cosas se hablan y por mí no hay problema. También están las clases. Ahí ustedes pueden ir checando y ponerse al día. Siempre y cuando las veces que usted que esté acá sea participativo, pregunte, se vea activo, pero faltamos bastante y vengo solo a no hablar, a no contestar, a no tener cámaras, ahí sí es difícil poder apoyarlos si se necesita, ¿ok? Pero hablando, pues nos entendemos y con gusto, ¿verdad? Usted se pone al día, lo veo activo y participativo, aunque se pase de ese 75, de mi parte yo puedo ver cómo lo apoyo o la apoyo, ¿ok? Con gusto. Y vamos a hacer así, ¿ok? Pero siempre es bueno comunicarse para llevar ahí el proceso, para llevar ahí qué pasa y poder apoyarlos, porque yo no tengo ningún inconveniente de ver si se puede apoyarlos a alguna situación especial, claro que sí, estamos abiertos a hacerlo, con gusto, ¿ok? Y ocasiones especiales, pues comuníquenla y ya. Si ya son permisos largos o lo que sea, si es con coordinación. Pero de asistencia que del día, yo les voy a poner así, pues de enterado, ¿ok? Y si mandan el mensaje con anticipación en la tardecita o antes anticipado, no ya justo a la clase, pues con todo gusto, si hay algo que responderles más específico, más extenso, con gusto, si no estoy en clase, lo hago. ¿Ok? Si no, solo de enterada. Y lo tomamos en cuenta. No hay problema, lo vamos a tomar en cuenta. Ok, no sé si alguien tiene otra duda, pregunta o lo que sea, ya que interrumpimos la clase para tomar ahora y quedar claro con todo.
Quizás solo en mi caso, Miss, como
Sí,
le
Mr.
comenté
Remy.
al principio, los días jueves yo tengo una reunión, por eso es que los días jueves no se conecta.
Sí, sí, usted ya me había comentado. Y eso además abarca, si son los jueves, son 4 semanas, no le abarca ni el 75, el 25% que usted tiene permiso. No
Ok.
problem. Además, usted es una persona muy activa, muy participativa, que si se pasara de ese 25, no hasta el 50, ¿verdad? Pero si se pasa de ese 25, ahí podemos tomar las consideraciones porque yo puedo dar fe que las clases que han estado las han visto, son activos, están participando porque los estoy viendo y los estoy oyendo. Yo puedo dar fe de que no, sí ha faltado un poquito más, pero esta persona sí ha estado de lleno en clases. Esa es la diferencia, que yo
Gracias.
puedo testimoniar o a veces no lo puedo hacer. Si yo puedo, por eso es, aparte por las reglas, ¿verdad? También por eso es importante para que yo tenga con qué hablar en caso que se necesite, por alguna situación especial que alguien tenga y necesite pasarse del 25% de permiso, ¿verdad? Nuestra persona es muy activa, yo considero que sí ha estado en el curso y pues, ¿verdad? Podemos ver ahí, ¿verdad? Esa situación, no problem. Okay, well, let's continue here. In this case, I was telling you that we have here this structure, right? And for those who were not in class at the beginning, you're gonna practice this conversation, and then we're gonna discuss these structures. One of your classmates already asked, good observation. So we're gonna discuss, right? So if you have doubts, wait, that first Let's practice this, and then we're gonna discuss, and I'm gonna explain a couple of things related to this. Why this difference, and why we are using here this form. Okay? But before you leave, let me take the attendance. I'm gonna take the attendance. Let me open your attendance list, please. Give me a second to do it. José Mauricio? Around? José Mauricio? No. Andrés Armando?
Present, Miss.
Okay, yeah, Mr. Ramirez, thanks. Rebeca Lorena?
Present. José Mauricio, present, teacher. Sorry.
Okay. Okay.
Turn off the microphone.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Let me go back to your name. Okay, there you are, Mr. Barrientos. No problem. I changed. Okay, Rebeca Lorena? No. Patricia Carolina? No. Gloria Luz?
Present, teacher.
Okay. Gloria Luz? No. Ronaldo Alexander? No. Jesse Eduardo? No. Kevin Joel o Joel?
Present.
Okay. Carla María?
I am here, teacher.
Okay, Mrs. Ayala. Thanks. Juan Carlos Rodríguez? No. Fátima Guadalupe? Ernesto Quintanilla? No. Elizabeth Esmeralda?
Present.
Okay. Ana del Carmen?
Present, teacher.
Okay, Miss Castro. Carlos Francisco? Dayanara? Marlene? Jessica? Yesenia,
Present.
excuse me. Marlene. Yesenia. Okay.
Present.
Okay, Mrs. Hernández. Oscar Heriberto? No. Isaac Adalberto?
Presente.
Okay. Daniel Eduardo? No. Daniel Alejandro? No. Omar José?
Present.
Okay. Emily Tatiana? Katia Marcela?
Present, teacher.
Okay. Miss Rodriguez? Giancarlo?
Present, teacher.
Okay, sir. Well, anybody who didn't answer in the moment? I can add you to the list if you didn't answer in the moment.
No, coach.
No, okay, so let's continue. Let's continue. I'm gonna create the breakout rooms. Let me check if I already sent the screenshot. I don't know if I already sent it, the screenshot of the conversation. Let me check, please. All right. Ok, thanks. Gracias ahí a los que han dado sus motivos. ¿verdad? Se van a tomar en cuenta, por supuesto. Si es un momento como Mr. Ramírez o Mr. Who said, don't remember, who is in the bed, Mr. Barrientos, right? Just tell me. Aquí, rapidito, como ellos lo hicieron, no es necesario que estén escribiendo porque es un momento, es ocasiones. Solo cuando sea toda la clase, media clase o todas las clases permanentes, si usted tiene algo específico, envíelo. Pero si es un momento, no problem. ¿Ok? Como les digo, créanme que sí soy flexible, pero tampoco al extremo, ¿verdad? Además que a mí también me preguntan y pues no quiero que se parezca porque a mí no me gusta, ¿verdad? Que me llamen la atención por cosas que no son. De hecho, no me gusta que me llamen la atención. Entonces, no se vaya a creer que yo no les he pedido, que yo no les he informado. E igual, quizás no sería ni el caso porque ellos saben que ustedes saben, ¿verdad? Que deben de hacer. Pero igual, no me gusta caer en eso, ¿verdad? Así es que por eso, pero si es algo así, no problem. Ok. Let's continue. Okay, so I was telling you that I'm gonna send the screenshot. Give me a second because I haven't sent the screenshot. No. So I'm gonna share it for you. It is in your book, but anyway, I like to share just in case that in this moment it's not possible for you to have the book, but
Nice.
I can share it. No problem. Okay, there you are. That's the conversation that you're gonna practice in this moment. We already practiced pronunciation, so I hope that you apply the correct pronunciation and help your classmates to do it. Okay, so here we go. 5 minutes or less than 5 minutes. It's not a long conversation, so I think 5 minutes is more than enough. If in your group there are 3 people, take turns, okay, to do the conversation. If your classmate doesn't arrive to the breakout room, call me. There you have an option. Call me so I can change you. Because if the person that's supposed to practice with you doesn't answer, doesn't say anything, and you are, hello, hi, can we practice? Hi, anybody around? And nobody answers, please let me know so I can change you. And you can take the opportunity to practice, to speak, because you won't stop practicing because someone doesn't answer. Okay, so I can change you to another group, no problem. Okay, so here we go. Can I help you, Mr. Rodriguez? Do you have a problem to join the breakout room?
Ahorita es que el internet me está fallando.
Ah, okay.
Disculpe.
Okay.
No me conecta aquí.
No lo conecta, ok, bueno, sí, ese es maybe de internet. Ya lo cambié a otra salita para que no esté esperando el compañero ahí. Ya está con una sala de 3. Ok,
Bueno,
esperemos a que le cargue ahí el internet para que pueda unirse.
gracias.
Ok. Let's wait for the rest of your classmates. Some seconds. 10 seconds and everybody will be here in the main session. Okay, let's continue. I listened some groups who help the classmates, right? So that's nice. Thanks for doing that because that's the idea. Remember, when we go to the breakout rooms, the idea is to support each other, help each other, speak, right? Practice, pronounce, and please, the idea is to understand. It's not just go to repeat like robots. No, that's not the objective. If we repeat and do a conversation, because we have many conversations, as you can see, the books have many conversations. So the objective is that we get familiar with the language, with the pronunciation. Each time that we speak, each time that we pronounce, our brain is taking the, the vitamins, okay, of the language. So is organizing the language. That's why it is good to do these practices. But the idea is to understand and to be sure about the pronunciation. So for that purpose, classmates can help, okay? Because you can give the correct pronunciation. Some of you were doing that, so excellent. Very good. Okay, so here we go to the structure. One of you told me why we have here ing in the verb, because maybe you have seen that we use ing when the meaning is ando, right? That's what we learn, when the meaning is ando. So in that case, we have, for example, she is studying. Okay, in that case, she is studying, as in your classmate said, because we use ing when we have the verb to be, but together, right? So it's the action that is being in the moment of speaking, etc. But in this case, it's not the same structure, right? Because it's not the same situation. It's not the same function. We have another reason. In this case, the rule is very, very simple. We use ing in the verb when we have prepositions. Okay? When you use a preposition before a verb, that verb is used with ing. For example, I can say, thanks for coming. Thanks for participating. Okay, it's time. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow. Thanks for participating. Okay? Or I can say, thanks to participate. But if I use the preposition for, the verb is with ing. But I'm not saying por participando. No, right? In that case, that's not the intention and that's not the translation. In that case, we continue using an infinitive. Participar. No participando. But the rule says, after a preposition, use ing in the verb. So the first thing that we need to do is get familiar with the most common prepositions. The most common prepositions are from, for, in, about, at, on, at. Those are the most common prepositions because there are around 50, but some of them are not very common to use. So if you get familiar with the most common, of, there you have a key to use this. So that's the reason. That's the reason why we are using ing, because it's a rule. It is a rule. It's like, antes de P se escribe M. That's a rule. Okay, don't do a mess in your mind and why, but it doesn't make sense. And no, right? Are rules of the languages. We don't stop thinking, ¿y por qué antes de P se escribe M? ¿Cuál es la diferencia? Pero me van a entender si yo digo. No, right? Because they are rules of the language. So we follow the rules. So here in this case, it's the same, my dear people. It's the same. It's a rule. So that's what you have to keep in mind. But there are some expressions. There are some expressions in English that we need to memorize.
Miss,
Yes.
I'm sorry. Repeat, please. Other example, the profession frequently in the conversation.
Okay, sure. I said for, from, in, on, at, about, of, that's what I said, I think. Those are the most common. For, from, in, on, about, of. Those are the most common. But anyway, I'm going to show you a list. I'm going to show you a list.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so that's why. But you can see here. But Sophia, in this case, we have responsible for and responsible to. That's the other point that we're going to discuss today. Because sometimes if we change the preposition in the verb, we change the meaning of the verb. So in this case, responsible for and responsible to. What do you think that is the difference between responsible for and can you in the conversation, can you identify why? What is the sense in the first and what is the sense in the second? According to the conversation.
For is used to action and to is referred to people.
Okay, thanks for your opinion, Miss. Any other opinion?
For action direct or action indirect.
For action to question.
Sorry, I don't know what happened. I'm gonna share again the screenshot.
La niña me enseña. Yo, sí, claro. Su padre, su.
Okay, keep your microphones off, please. Be careful. Be careful with the microphone. It's the privacy of your class, of your home, right? So, let me share it again because I don't know what happened. I don't know if anybody said anything else because I didn't listen. I just listened to one miss. But I don't know if anybody give another opinion. No, nobody else? Okay. Well, the difference is that in this case, if we use for, is because are your responsibilities, your duties, is in you. But responsible to is when you have to check someone else, know exactly your duties. So you can see there, my department is responsible for keeping. They have to do that. They. But in that case, responsible to you. Responsible to you for the things that you do, not for the things that I do. So parents are responsible to their children until they are, let's say, 18. So they're responsible for helping their children, for let's say giving the best, because those are their responsibilities. Okay, but in that case, when we use to, is because we have to observe. So we are responsible, but observing, checking someone else's actions. Got it?
So.
So, okay. So, okay, so in this case, we said responsible because it's not the same. Let's say that you are the manager, Mr. Ramirez. You are the manager. You have to observe to the, let's say, to the secretary. So maybe you are the manager, you have to observe the secretary, Mr. or Miss Castro is another manager, so she has to check to the, let's say, to the sales person. So everybody has to observe someone else's activities, someone else, let's say, performance activities. But you are responsible to observe. Okay, you have to, let's say, to announce if they are on time, if they are not on time. So it's something indirect because you have to observe them if they are doing their responsibilities. But it's not the same that when your responsibility is to open the office, for example. You don't have to observe. You are responsible for opening the office. Is directly your responsibility. So that's why you say, I'm responsible for opening the office. But in the case that the secretary is responsible, you have to observe if she does that action, if she opens the office. So you just have to observe her. You just have to check her in this case. Yes?
Yes.
So basically, when we use responsible to, is because we have to observe, we have to inform, but it's not me directly who will do the action. But you are responsible for that person. To that person, excuse me. You are responsible to that person, but you won't do the actions. You are responsible to that person because that person is the one who will do the action, not you directly. But when you will do directly the action, responsible for opening the office. But if the secretary is responsible, she is responsible for opening the office. You are responsible to observe. You are responsible to hear. Because if she doesn't do that, you have to tell her, oh, please, Miss Beltran, Miss Beltran, we have observed that you are not opening the office on time. So I need that you do it because our customers sometimes get angry. I don't know. So you have to talk to her. Because you are responsible to that person. You are not the one who opens the door, who opens the office, but you are responsible to that person. So it's not the same to observe that the other person do the actions that you do the actions directly. Better?
I got it. Thanks.
Okay, okay,
Thanks.
okay,
Thanks.
anytime. So you see, that's the difference. That's the difference between the use of one and the other preposition. Let's say, it's part of the difference. So sometimes we need a specific preposition, okay? We need a specific preposition, and it is done. It's not me, it's not you who will invent what preposition. No, it's already done, right? Este verbo va con esta preposición. Este otro verbo va con esta otra. It's part of the name. It doesn't depend on me. It doesn't depend on you. Those are the rules. So we have to get familiar with the prepositions. So we have two reasons. One, because we have a preposition, use the verb with ing. And the other, because the verb or the expression goes specifically with that preposition, because that's the rule. And sometimes, not always, but sometimes the preposition makes the difference. For example, if we have dream about or dream of. What is the difference, or is it the same?
Dream about is when a person tell
a person what, excuse me, sir?
Dream about is when a person tell about lo que soñó, ¿no? Dream about. Y dream of is when a people want to achieve when a person wants to achieve the goal. Dream of.
Dream of. Okay.
Yes,
correct. So there is a difference, right, sir? It's not the same.
No, it's not the same.
So depending on the preposition, we have a different use. Correct, sir?
Yes, cool.
Very good. Thanks for your opinion and for your concept. Okay, there your classmate told you the difference is not the same. He told us the difference between dream of and dream about. And that's what I'm telling you. These situations. And there we have some other verbs that have a specific, sometimes the same verb has different prepositions. So if we change of the preposition, it's because we change the meaning, the use, the action, the intention, because we have a different preposition. So you see how important are prepositions? So after this preposition, so I can say, I dream of being the president of my country. Okay? I dream of being the president of my country. So it's a projection that I have, right? It's an intention. It's an objective, maybe. But if I say, I dream Every night I dream about being a president. I don't know why. Maybe I will do someday. It's different because in that case, it's not your intention. It's not your projection. It's just that you are sleeping. And when you are sleeping, you have that dream. But in both, because we have prepositions about and of, I will use the verb dream about being a president. So you see, it's the same sentence. Apparently, it's the same sentence, but with a different meaning because I have a different preposition. Dream about being the president of my country. You see? Looks like the same, right? Looks exactly the same. But according to your classmates' opinion and explanation, it's not the same. It's different. In the first, if you use about, I understand immediately that you were sleeping. And in the second, dream of, I understand that you have that intention. So I can say, okay, when you create your party, su partido político, right? When you create your party, let me know, I can help you. I can help you to become the president of El Salvador. It's different. You see? So that's the situation of responsible for and responsible to. It's different, different intention, different preposition, different sense. And we have some other, of course. There are not a lot, but there are some other. So when you see, the point here is, when you see one verb or one expression, if you see one verb with different prepositions, you have to know, you have to investigate what is the meaning. It's not the same. And when you watch or you observe or you listen an expression with a preposition, respect that preposition, please. Respect it. Because we have to use many times as a specific preposition with some expressions. For example, let me give you other examples. This is another expression. Look, good at. Oh, bad at. Depends on. Okay, those are some that comes to my mind. So you can see here what I'm explaining, that we have some expressions that have that has a specific preposition, and we have to memorize, and we have to respect. And Sofia, can I say good for? No, that's not the way. It's like you can say, Sofia, can I write hola con H en una carta? Well, if you are talking about the waves of the sea, yes. But if you are saying hello, no, it's not possible. We have rules, right? So in this case, good at, you can say good at speaking English. Or good at speaking languages. Look, I don't say good for. I'm good for speaking languages. No, good at. That is the expression. That expression goes with at, not with for. And we have to memorize that and respect and use it in that way. And because of the class that we are discussing today, you will know that you have a preposition. Good at is a preposition. With that expression, you have a preposition. So I have a preposition. So the verb after the preposition, if I use a verb, is with ing. I'm good at speaking languages. I'm good at playing the guitar. I'm good at dancing. But I'm bad at getting up early, for example. And here we have another example. Depends on. That is the preposition. It depends on going to the meeting. Just to have an idea. It depends on going to the meeting. Or it depends on buying a new car. Okay, can we travel to Guatemala next vacations? Well, I'm not sure. It depends on buying the new car. Because with this, we can go. It depends on. There you have, what's the preposition? On, right? The preposition in this case is on. So, same story. You need to add ing to the verb because that's the rule. And remember that in this case, now you know why and how it works. In this case, we won't say it ando. That's not the meaning. That's not the translation. Okay? Is clear now? Is it better, this topic?
Coach, what is the meaning in Spanish? It depends on going to the meeting.
Depende de ir.
Depende de ir a la reunión. Okay. Y that phrase.
But try not to translate it, okay? Think in English. Try not to ask for translations. Tell me.
Okay, Coach. What I want to know. Mean I have to idea. But I don't looking for to translate.
Okay.
Because yeah.
Bad at is the opposite of good at.
Bad
Is the opposite of good at.
Sorry.
For example, in my case, I bad at getting up, because we have a preposition. Bad at getting up early. It's hard for me.
Okay.
So,
the same question. I bad drive my car. Driving my car.
Okay,
yeah.
me too.
Yes.
I'm bad at driving. I hate driving.
Yes.
Actually, I hate driving. And that's why I prefer to stay at home and work online.
It's a necessary.
Yeah, I do it. Yeah, because it's demanding. Yes, definitely. Yeah. I drive because it's demanding. Yeah, but if it depends on me, I'm not using a verb, but the expression is the same. If it would depend on me, I wouldn't drive. That is the expression. Depends on me.
Depends.
On me, not depends of me.
Okay. It can be depends on him, depends on her.
Yes, of course.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
Will you go to the party on Sunday? Well, it depends on my mom. Okay. I don't know if she agrees. Or it depends on my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, you can use any subject, of course. Depends on me, it depends on my mom, it depends on my friend, it depends on the situation. It depends on the future situation.
Okay,
but okay, But the point is, my dear people, that when you are using these prepositions in a verb, the verb goes with ing. We can use these expressions without verbs, but our class is with verbs. But of course that you can use, for example, I'm good at languages. I'm good at languages.
Okay.
So no problem, right? It's the same, good at, always with at, and we have to respect, no good for. I'm good at languages.
En good at, we can say, we can use nouns or a verb.
Correct.
But it depends on always use verbs with ing.
Okay. Good at, we can use nouns or we can use verbs, correct? Depends on is the same. You can use a noun or you can use a verb. Look, we have a verb there. But I told you, it depends on the situation. It depends on my mom.
Okay. You can, will be objects, pronouns, and verbs. It depends on situation, right?
It depends on the context. It depends on the idea. It depends on the situation.
Okay. Same question.
Okay. So, but in this case, I focus on verbs because that's the topic, right? How we use verbs after prepositions. So good at speaking languages. I'm gonna change the same idea, but with a verb. I'm good at speaking languages. It's the same, but I want to use a verb because that is the topic. But anyway, of course, the idea is that you use those expressions in any way, in any forms. That's why I'm giving you that additional information because it's related. But the topic itself is a verb after the preposition.
Okay, yes.
Okay, so that's what we have, my dear people. That's what I have to explain you about this topic. This topic is very, very interesting. It's very important.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, and you know, if we use these details correctly, there you can show the level of your English level. Okay, if you can identify what's the difference between one and other form, why they are with different prepositions, or how to use them, or if you apply this, it's a good indicator that you have a better English level. Okay, because those details show it, okay, demonstrate the level that we are managing. Okay, so let's speak for a while. I think that is clear. I already explained, I think, in details with many examples. So tell me, things that you are good at using verbs and that you are bad at. Maybe one or two. It's not necessarily the list, right? I know that you are good at many things, but just two things, maybe. Who wants to start? Using this structure, right? That's the point, of course, to practice, to put into practice.
Yes.
Yes.
In Zoom, the structure is preposition más verb finish ing.
Yes, correct. The verb goes with ing after the preposition.
Only in conversation or write.
No, it's the same.
The same.
Yeah, it's the same. Doesn't matter if it is oral or written.
It's different. I use the two.
Yes, because remember that in that case we were talking about a specific something written. Okay, that is an objective. It's more formal, let's say. But in this case, They are expressions, just expressions.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so Mr. Peroso, what do you have? What are you good at and bad at?
I good at fixing airplanes and I bad at wake up early.
Waking
Early.
waking up early.
Waking up
Okay.
early.
Okay. Okay, well, waking up early. Okay, and so what's the perfect time, sir, for you to wake up? What is the perfect hour for you to wake up?
7 a.m.
Okay, so
At
okay,
7 a.m.
okay, not bad. I thought that you would say at 10.
Because
Okay,
because I get up at 4 a.m. every day.
4 a.m. That's hard.
Yeah.
That's hard. Yes. That's hard for me too. It would be hard for me too. Okay, so we have two things, good at and bad at, and we are using the structures. Okay, thanks, Mr. Peroso. Anybody else? What you good at and bad at, Giancarlo?
I'm bad at singing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Singing.
I'm good at cooking.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I
Yeah,
make
okay.
I make a Peruvian food.
Food. Okay,
Yeah.
excellent. That's great. Okay, that's good. Okay, thanks. Miss Rodriguez, what are you good at and bad at?
I'm good at drinking coffee. I love the coffee all
You
the
love
time.
coffee. Okay.
Yeah.
How many
And
cups, excuse me, how many cups of coffee per day? A day?
4 or 5.
4 or 5?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And I bad at cooking. I
You,
can't.
you,
And I don't like it.
you hate cooking.
Yeah.
Okay, so definitely you see she's bad at cooking and good at drinking coffee. Okay, so thanks, Miss Rodriguez. Okay, let's see who else. Maybe Mr. Rodriguez.
I don't understand.
Oh, you don't understand. Okay, the expression is good at. Good at, bueno para, good at. But in this case, we won't say good for, never in English. We need to use another preposition, no for, good at. And the verb after at with ing, as Miss Rodriguez says, I'm good at cooking. The verb is cook, right, Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes,
But
yes.
she said, I'm good at cooking. And that's correct, what she said. So that is the
Okay.
structure.
Yeah, sería good up to play the guitar.
Okay, good at playing.
Playing.
Correct. Good at playing the guitar. Okay, very artistic. Okay, so you see, Mr. Rodriguez, that's the idea. Good at and the verb with ing. Good at playing, not to. Good at playing.
Okay, okay.
Always.
Thank you.
Okay. Any voluntarily, anybody who wants to tell us about things that you good at? You.
Me.
Mr. Ramirez, tell me.
Good at dancing.
Oh, okay, you're good at dancing. Excellent. What kind of music?
Salsa, merengue, bachata,
Reggaeton.
no.
No.
No, reggaeton, no.
No.
Everybody dancing.
Okay.
No reggaeton.
Any dancing rhythm, but no reggaeton, of course.
But no reggaeton, sí.
Okay.
Balada, salsa, cumbia,
Okay.
etc.
Okay.
Menos reggaeton.
So Giancarlo Giancarlo won't invite you to his party because in his parties just reggaeton.
Yes, really, I dance.
Reggaeton.
No, different, different musics.
Okay, different kind of music, tropical
Andina,
music.
Andina music, do you like, Giancarlo?
Which one?
Music Andina.
Ah, okay, sí, yeah.
Do you like, Giancarlo?
Cusco.
Cusco.
Yes, Cusco music.
Yes. Okay. Okay, good. That's nice. Okay, so you see, there you are using the correct structure. So don't forget it, please. Let's continue with the book. But I just wanted that you put into practice and to be sure that it's clear. So now we can continue here. Okay, so here. This. Okay. So here we have what I was telling. Here we have other prepositions. Of course that you won't use all of them, right? But to get familiar with the prepositions, with, I forgot with, that is very common. By is very common too. So I'm gonna circle the most common that maybe you can start memorizing.
On, off, in,
With verbs is very common despite of being sad, I dance, despite of, a pesar de. So despite of being sad, despite of being sad, I was dancing in the party yesterday. Okay, so before, right? It's very common to use it with a verb. I'm talking about the ones that are common to use with verbs or with phrases, and with verbs because that is the topic. Okay, so I think those are the most common that are combined with verbs, that you can find many with verbs or with expressions that are used with verbs. Those are the most common. Okay, so I'm gonna take the screenshot and I'm gonna send it to the group for you to keep it in case that you want to continue studying this. Okay. Okay, let's do this exercise together. I'm leaving the book, okay, for a while. It's the topic. It's the book's topic. I'm following the topics of the book. But sometimes I like to add, okay, some additional practice. It depends on sometimes we're going to focus 100% on the book. But sometimes we can do additional practices, okay? So can you recognize what is incorrect in these sentences? Read it and tell me, please. According to the topic, of course.
Teacher, thank you for help is incorrect, for helping me.
Exactly, that's correct. That's one. Thank you for helping
Okay.
me because we have the preposition.
Yes.
What else? Anybody else?
Tú. No.
Which one?
Tú.
Tell me the sentence, please.
Thank you to help me.
No. In this case, no. No, because in this case, to is a preposition sometimes, but no, because here you have an infinitive. Okay?
Okay.
Thanks for help me to find. Yes, no, in this case, no.
I was walking.
No, this is correct because it's past. Here you have the verb to be. So this is the traditional. Estaba trabajando. This is the traditional, Mr.
Traditional. Okay.
This is the traditional because you see here you have the combination of a verb to be and ing.
Okay. Thanks.
Coach, the next mistake is he has problem with paying.
Exactly. With paying his rent this month. That's correct. What else?
Teacher,
yes, Miss?
The sentence, you can improve your English by reading.
What is the mistake, Miss, there? In that sentence?
You can improve your English by reading.
Okay. So by read is the mistake, right? Correct. By the right answer is by reading. Because by is another preposition. That's correct. Two more are missing.
Between.
Yes, tell me the sentence, Miss.
She has to choose between.
Okay, complete the idea, complete the correct and complete the sentence, please. Well, maybe her internet is not working. Anybody else who wants to complete?
She was to choosing between do her homework and go to the party.
She has to, no. In this case, no. Because in this case, after to, always.
Okay.
We have an infinitive. We have an infinitive. After have, we use to. Have to, need to.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Teacher,
yes, sir?
the mistake is between doing her homework.
Okay, that's the mistake, and that's what we have. Between doing her homework. Okay, that's correct.
Yeah.
Just one is missing. Look at the list that I sent to the group. Okay, here. Before coming. Correct. Before coming. So you see, the point is to know the prepositions, because if we don't know the preposition, we can apply this. So the first step is to start recognizing and memorizing the most common prepositions. So in that way, I can use correctly the verb when it goes with a preposition. But you see, some of you told me this. Okay, has to is when we have the preposition before the verb. But in this case, tengo otro verbo antes de la preposición. So be careful. No es porque aparece y no, because sometimes the most complicated is to. that preposition. That's the most maybe confusing. I understand. Because in the case of to, it has different functions. Sometimes it goes like infinitive, part of the second verb. And after, and sometimes, but you know, after to are few verbs, very few and specific verbs. Okay, I'm eager to going. I'm eager to sleeping. Cuando ustedes vean un to, no les recomiendo que pongan que apliquen mucho esta después del to, porque del to son poquitísimos los verbos que después de to llevan ing. Esa combinación casi no se da. Pero este es uno de ellos. I'm eager to sleeping. This is one verb. Eager to. I'm eager to sleeping. But this combination is hard because it's not common to use after to ing. There are like maybe 5 or verbs that we use this. Voy a ver si me acuerdo en el transcurso de la semana y se los comparto. Okay? Because in this case, I don't recommend, because I know that this is confusing. Because 2 of you mentioned that after to we use ing, but no. Most of the time, it doesn't happen with to. Or you use to or you use ing, but not together. Remember that. Most of the time, we don't use after to ing. Most of the time. Just in, like, I think 5 verbs, specific verbs, but they are hundreds of verbs. And we use this combination around 5 verbs. So as you can see, that is not common. So don't use this rule in to. So I recommend you to memorize the verbs. I'm gonna try to share it for you. What are the verbs that I can do that? This is eager is like be really happy, anxious to do something, right? I'm eager to sleeping. Estoy ansioso de dormir. Dormir. Right? It's not endo. But this is one of the few verbs, remember. No many verbs. Or you use to or use sleeping. Like in like. I like to drive. Well, that's not true. But I like to drive. Or I can say I like driving. But not together. You can use one or the other. I like to drive or I like driving. I hate to drive, I hate driving. But ignore all verbs. But together, no. You use to or you use ing. So don't focus on this preposition for this rule. That's the point. That's the point that I want to tell you. Don't focus because most of verbs, no, it won't happen with to. Okay? Well, I will try to share those verbs that you can use with to and with ing. But you can see here, before coming here, I was working as an engineer in my country. Thank you for helping me to find my bag. You can improve your English by reading more. He has a problem with paying his rent this month. She has to choose between doing her homework and going to the party. Going, because this is the same idea. Because here I have a conjunction that is the same idea. So between doing and going. Okay? This preposition includes those two verbs because here we have the connector and. So it's the same idea between doing her homework and going to the party.
Between connect two verbs, teacher.
No. Between and connect the two ideas, the two verbs.
The two ideas.
Yes, between do
okay.
or the two actions in this case. Between what is one action? Doing her homework and the other action?
Go to the party. Going to the party.
Going to the party. So they are connected. So it's the same idea. So between is affecting both verbs. So that's what I'm gonna apply to both, between doing and going. Okay?
Yes, coach.
Okay.
You are the best, coach. You're very
right.
smart.
You're right. I agree. You are right. You have the reason, definitely. Nah, just kidding. Okay, so that's what we have here. Now we have expressions. Just for you to know, right? It's not necessary that you're gonna, that you're gonna memorize them for tomorrow or memorize them in one go, step by step. But the idea is that you know that these situations, these structures exist. You're gonna recognize them and you're gonna apply them step by step. So here we have expressions or verbs that go specific with a specific prepositions. Dream of, died of, consist of, approve of, accuse of, suspect of, apologize for, ask for, blame for, decide for, etc. Right? Dream about, carry on, depend on. You see? No depends for. Look, this is very common. Insist on. No in. Because some people say, she insisted in. No. She insisted on going with me to the party. She insisted on going with me. She insisted on doing the meeting tomorrow, and we don't have time. The manager insisted on doing the meeting tomorrow, and tomorrow we don't have time.
Teacher, can you write insisted, please?
Oh, sure. You just add ed at the end because it's past.
Okay. Okay. Insisted.
Yeah, insisted. Yes, it's just that I'm saying that example in past.
Okay.
And this is a regular verb. By the way, we're gonna study regular verbs in this week and past. Okay. Well, I'm gonna share with you these two just for you to get familiar, right, with this step by step, as I said, right? Not all of them are very common, but some of them are common.
Coach,
so extra material for you.
Coach, one question. Where saying is be, what does is be mean?
Say that again, please. Well, he has gone. Okay, well, so it's almost time, my dear people. I don't know if you have any question about the topic for today. You see, it depends on different combinations. So you have expressions, you have specific verbs, but the point is if they are with prepositions. And you see that it's very common. I gave you some examples. Tomorrow we're gonna work on the book. We're gonna work with the book. Okay, I for explaining And oh, you see, can you listen now? You identify. I said for explaining, right? Because I'm using a preposition. So for explaining today, so it means to explain, right? Para explicar hoy, or I can say to explain, that is infinitive. In that case, it's to explain. Okay, because it's infinitive. So I won't use to explaining. Por eso les digo, ese to mejor sáquenlo de estas reglas, porque es un poquito más complicado. Y muy poquitos no vale la pena, porque muy poquitos se usan después de to con ing el siguiente verbo. Voy a tratar de compartírselos, ¿ok? Como extra. So you will manage good that.
Very important, coach, for...
Yes, it's good for you to improve the level, right? Your English level. Okay, but this is basic. Look, those topics are no easy, you know. Those topics for this level are no easy, but they are on the book, so I have to follow them. But of course, that they are good, that they are excellent, you know. But they are not for most of maybe because it's for work, English for work, because in most of the let's say courses. We have these topics in other levels, no in beginners, because this is still beginners, but this is for work. That's why, right? But it's good. It's good to manage from now. From now, you get familiar, because it's not that you're going to manage them perfectly, right? Tomorrow, this week, but you have the idea, and you have to observe when you listen, that combination. When you read, you're going to observe, and then you're going to get familiar, and you're going to manage all of them, because you will go step by step. But now you know how they work and what you have to observe, and you can memorize them step by step, little by little, right? There you have the list. So those are some of the most common. And so remember, I was telling you that today, for explaining, I use extra material that I prepared for you. But tomorrow we're going to focus on the book. I like to do that combination, okay? Sometimes, depending on the topics, I have some extra practice out of the book, but always based on the book, okay? In some classes, we're going to focus on the book, okay? But always based on the book. Okay, I don't know if you have well, it's time, right? It's time. So that's it for today, because we can do the rest of the exercises. We don't have time to do it, but tomorrow we'll continue working and putting into practice these topics. Okay, so it's been a pleasure. Thanks for your attendance. Have a nice night.
Same for you.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night. Sleep tight.
Wow.